Mumbaikars care about these elections? Is that really the issue of engagement with the electoral process? SMS us India space yes or India space no to 56388. You can also log on to ndtv.com to cast your vote on verdict. Well, let me go across now to Milind Deora, Congress MP from Mumbai South. Milind, what is the difference that you're seeing between the assembly elections and the Lok Sabha elections? We know that politicians, the media were disappointed by the low voter turnout. Do you think it's going to be different this time around?
Well, I hope it will be different this time around, but I think the apathy that you might be seeing is because of two reasons probably. I think one is just general voter apathy to the political system, which of course is unfortunate. But in that part also, I think there are those who are loyal voters, as in those who always come out and vote for elections, and those who remain apathetic and will make an excuse about a holiday or about going out of town or about a long weekend. I also think the second part is far more important, which I think we're collectively we're all to blame. That means we as the political class, I think even the media has an important role to play in that, is that we haven't made voters aware of what each election is about. So you ask me what is the difference between my parliament election and this election. I think the biggest difference is that in the Lok Sabha election, for instance, people in my constituency thought that the Lok Sabha election and a parliamentary election is about issues pertaining to Mumbai, which is very unfortunate because the Lok Sabha election is a national election where you're electing the Prime Minister of the country. Right. You're giving a particular party a mandate to run the entire country. A Maharashtra election, on the contrary, is an election which will determine who the Chief Minister of the state is and how the city progresses. So I think there's a lopsided view, and as a result of that, the average individual gets confused about it. And as a result, people feel it's not as important. I met someone just this morning who said, Milind, I voted for you in the parliament elections, and now you as the MP will solve all the problems of the city. And I said, but the state election is very important because that will actually determine who your MLA is, who your local representative is, what the state government's about. But he just put his hands up and was largely apathetic towards it. So I think if we could see the kind of activism that I saw in the parliament elections, in the state election, I think that would go a long way. My friend, for example, Meera Sanyal, who contested against me, I wish someone like her who had an agenda for Mumbai would come out and fight a state election, because we need people who are determined to do something for the city to fight local elections. Right, we need people who have a national focus in mind to fight parliamentary elections. And as long as we can make people aware about that, that will...
I think that's an interesting point, Milind, because you're making the point, at least in urban areas like Mumbai, the feeling is that the access should be directly to the MP. The MLA somehow is not the problem of an urban constituency, perhaps, and we know how different that is in rural India. But Meera Sanyal, if I can bring you in here, you were one of the people who actually decided to take the plunge and join the electoral process. Milind Deora says that it would be good to do that again in the assembly elections. But were you disappointed at that time by what the result was? You lost at that time, and the voter turnout as well. The supporters you hoped for, the new voters, didn't actually turn out.
Well, Sonia, I was certainly disappointed by the voter turnout, as I think everyone who participated in the process was. And I do hope that this time it will be better. Last time the elections in Mumbai for the parliamentary elections were held on a long weekend. And this is a maximum city, so people do tend to take advantage of every holiday they have and go out of town. I think this time, the 13th having been declared a holiday, but also being in the middle of the week, I'm very hopeful that Mumbaikars will turn out in large numbers.
Milind, just to ask you, the government's decision, I mean, it's the first of its kind in India to actually say that voters must be given paid leave to actually go out and work. How effective do you think that's actually going to be?
I think it will go quite a long way in ensuring that more people get out and cast their vote.
Tuba.com